Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Landman Season 2 casting a beloved Yellowstone franchise star is perfect thanks to one of the best westerns ever made. Taylor Sheridan's Landman recently cast a notable actor from a Yellowstone spin-off show, but the newcomer to the cast is even more exciting because of one of the best western movies ever made. Since the first season was such a hit for Paramount Plus, many Taylor Sheridan fans are eagerly awaiting Landman Season 2. It's one of many of Sheridan's upcoming shows and movies, but with Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, Michelle Randolph, and more, it's also one of the most exciting. Now, some casting news makes Landman Season 2 even more exciting than before. We've already gotten a fairly good amount of news about Landman Season 2's cast. For example, Demi Moore will have a bigger role in Landman Season 2 as her character, Kami Miller, takes over after Monty's John Hamm death at the end of Landman Season 1. Tommy should also have some new responsibilities as the de facto head of MTEX, and Andy Garcia's Galeno will add even more variety into the equation. On top of everything else, however, Taylor Sheridan has also added one of the stars of a Yellowstone spin-off show to Landman Season 2, Sam Elliott. Recently, Sam Elliott was confirmed to be joining Landman Season 2. There's no official word on what character he's playing or how he fits into the larger narrative of Landman just yet, but Elliott is confirmed to be playing a series regular character. Elliott is best known for a slew of classic films, from timeless westerns to Roadhouse, the 2003 version of Hulk, and even the 2018 remake of A Star is Born. Elliott's involvement brings even more star power into the already famous cast of Landman, but there are two roles in particular that make him a very fascinating part of the show. Interestingly enough, Landman Season 2 will not be the first time Sam Elliott has starred in a western alongside Billy Bob Thornton. Both Elliott and Thornton appeared in Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell's 1993 western masterpiece Tombstone. Elliott played Virgil Earp, Wyatt's older brother, while Thornton had a small role as Johnny Tyler, whom Wyatt threw out of a bar at the beginning of the film. They were even briefly on screen together in Tombstone. After being thoroughly humiliated by Wyatt, Johnny Tyler was once again humiliated by the entire Earp party, which included Virgil. Now, over 3 decades after their first role together, Sam Elliott and Billy Bob Thornton are finally reuniting in Landman Season 2. Additionally, while it isn't a traditional western, Landman is heavily inspired by Taylor Sheridan's love of the western genre, which makes it even closer to Tombstone. Elliott and Thornton will also get much more of a chance to interact with each other, as they're both main characters in Landman while they had supporting roles in Tombstone. Landman Season 2 now serves as the perfect Tombstone reunion, but it wasn't actually the first reunion between Elliott and Thornton. As previously mentioned, Sam Elliott has already starred in another of Taylor Sheridan's shows, 1883. What's far less widely known is that Billy Bob Thornton also had a role in 1883, and his character even interacted with Elliott's. Thornton played Marshal Jim Courtwright in 1883, and he briefly met Sam Elliott's Chi Brennan as the wagon train he was leading was passing through town. Thornton's character was only in one of 1883's 10 episodes, however, so it was just a brief meeting, as they had in Tombstone. Brief as their meeting may have been, however, 1883 did prove that Sam Elliott and Billy Bob Thornton have great on-screen chemistry. They play off each other well, and 1883 already showed that if Elliott's character is an ally of Tommy, they'll have a very compelling relationship. However, even if Elliott is playing a villain in Landman Season 2, he should have more than enough experience with Thornton to get into Tommy's head. Landman Season 2 is shaping up to be very interesting now that Sam Elliott has done it again. With Landman Season 2 already in the works, news of a familiar face joining the cast has Yellowstone fans buzzing. But this isn't just stunt casting or franchise synergy. It's a perfect move, one shaped not only by the character-rich world of Landman, but also by the legacy of one of the best westerns ever made. Bringing a beloved Yellowstone franchise star into this new chapter is more than clever. It's inspired, and it might be the key to making Landman the next big hit in the Sheridan-verse. Enter Cole Hauser, exit the ranch, but not the West. According to inside sources, Cole Hauser, best known for his fierce, brooding, and emotionally complex portrayal of Rip Wheeler in Yellowstone, is joining Landman Season 2. For longtime fans of the franchise, Hauser's gravel-voiced cowboy charisma is practically mythic at this point. But as Yellowstone rides into its final season, there's a new horizon for the actor, and Landman offers it in spades. In a world where loyalty, land, and legacy drive every decision, Hauser's casting isn't just nostalgia, it's evolution. The fact that Landman isn't a cowboy drama, but an oilfield epic set in the high-stakes world of West Texas, makes his addition all the more fascinating. This is a different frontier, but one just as raw, unforgiving, and morally gray as anything Rip Wheeler ever rode through. And Hauser? He was born for it. Landman, grit, oil, and power. For those who haven't yet caught Landman, the series trades cowboy hats for hard hats. Anchored by Billy Bob Thornton as Tommy Norris, a crisis manager for an oil company navigating the politics and danger of boomtown Texas, Landman isn't your traditional Western. But it carries all the spirit. It's a modern-day Wild West story told with drills instead of horses, roughnecks instead of wranglers, and oil rigs instead of ranches. What Landman proves is that the Western never died, it just evolved. And Sheridan, perhaps more than any other modern storyteller, understands this. His vision of America is rooted in frontier ethics, whether it's a cattle brand or a barrel of crude. Cole Hauser stepping into Landman is less about keeping Yellowstone fans engaged and more about exploring the deeper ethos of the Sheridan universe. From Tombstone to Texas, a Western legacy, Hauser's presence in Landman is perfect not just because of Yellowstone, but because of his deep ties to another cornerstone of the Western genre, Tombstone. While Hauser himself wasn't in Tombstone, his career and performance style evoke the same cool fire that made that 1993 film a defining moment in modern Western cinema. Hauser channels the grit of Sam Elliott, the stoicism of Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp, and the quiet fury of Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. The DNA of Tombstone is embedded in Hauser's work, and that makes him uniquely suited to carry its spirit forward. Where Tombstone gave us shootouts at high noon and standoffs dripping with tension, Landman offers corporate deals, environmental disasters, and dangerous men who run billion-dollar empires like outlaws. It's the same moral terrain, just with more concrete and crude. A new kind of cowboy. What makes Hauser so magnetic in the Sheridan universe is his ability to convey power without theatrics. In Yellowstone, Rip doesn't need long speeches. He speaks with his fists, his silence, and the occasional gut punch one-liner. Now imagine that same intensity repurposed for the boardrooms and backroads of Texas oil country. Early reports suggest Hauser will play a former roughneck turned independent operator, a man whose small company threatens the power structures of the big oil players. He's a rogue, grizzled, intelligent, and fiercely protective of the land and people around him. In short, another classic Hauser anti-hero. But this time, he's not bound to a ranch. He's bound to the survival of his land in the face of corrupt corporate forces. It's Rip Wheeler with a hard hat and an oil rig, and it's exactly what Landman needs to keep its edge. Why this casting works? Great casting isn't just about recognition, it's about resonance. Cole Hauser's inclusion in Landman works because it bridges the Sheridan worlds while offering a new character for him to inhabit. It allows the audience to carry the emotional weight of Rip Wheeler into a new space while also watching Hauser explore new dynamics, new enemies, and new stakes. And it works because Landman isn't just another Yellowstone spinoff, it's its own beast. By adding a familiar star, Sheridan isn't diluting the show's vision. He's enhancing it, grounding it in the kind of performances that made the Sheridan-verse a phenomenon to begin with.